You know, doing a WYEP live and direct session is one of my favorite things for a couple of reasons. I'm Rosemary. I'm here with Margaret Glaspy, so it's a chance to get to know an artist a little bit better. But I also get to spend the afternoon with wonderful WYEP members. Now, really, we wouldn't be here without you. I say that again and again, but it is the truth. So, Margaret, you're sort of becoming a veteran of WYEP. I think this is the third time, which could be a charm.
Yes, it's always a total pleasure to be here and be back.
Well, before we do anything else and we have music to talk about, we want to hear music first. So, could you please do a song for us?
Yes, certainly. This is The Book of Love by the Magnetic Fields. The book of love is long and boring. No one can lift the damn thing. It's full of charts and facts and figures and instructions for dancing. But I love it when you sing to me and you can sing me anything. The book of love has music in it. In fact, it's where music comes from. Some of it is just transcendental. Some of it is just really dumb. But I love it when you read to me and you can read me anything. The book of love is long and boring and written very long ago. Some of it is just transcendental. Some of it is too young to know. But I love it when you give me things and you ought to give me wedding rings. You ought to give me wedding rings.
We are here at WYEP with Margaret Glaspy, who is playing City Winery tonight, and we still have some tickets available. So, if you don't have Friday plans, you could have Friday plans. So consider that. So you have a new release out. I want to make sure I get the name right. The Golden Heart Protector. 7 songs on it?
Yes.
And they're covers of other songwriters' songs. Now, from what I understand, this sort of happened very, serendipitously.
Yeah, I was in LA for the weekend. I had a show I was playing, and I also had been wanting to hang out with my dear friend Ryan Lerman, who produced the record. And we were hanging out in his little studio at his house, and I just started to play songs that I liked, and he pressed record, and I had a lot of friends around in town. and it was kind of odd. It was like everybody was just kind of around. And then a few people, we phoned in, and we were able to get them to, record on top of what we had done. But yeah, it was great. My friend James Bay, we did a Jackson Browne song together. He lives in London. He was just in LA that day that we were working. Alam Khan, amazing sarod player. We ended up recording a Blake Mills song called Curable Disease. He lives in San Francisco. He was in LA that day. My friend Madison Cunningham, we recorded that song I just played, The Book of Love. She was also in LA that weekend. It was just, sparkly. The whole thing was kind of blessed in a certain way to just come together. So, yeah, it was a total joy to make. I love playing great songs, and it's so fun to, pay tribute to all the artists that I love. So, yeah, I was in heaven.
So when you love music and you've been around it your whole life, and I'm sure you could put a list down of, right off the top of your head, probably 15 or 20 people whose songwriting you really love, but you have to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Did you narrow these down just because these were songs you really loved, or maybe they were songs you had already performed?
Only two of them, I guess, were songs that I had performed. I'd played These Days, the Jackson Browne song with James, once at a show in London. I played Lucinda Williams' song, Fruits of My Labor, at shows before. The rest of it, I really was just in my friend's, garage studio and going, oh, this is a cool song, and I play it. Some of them I had never played before, which was really unusual. Like, they were just kind of, I'd heard them 1,000 times. I thought, oh, I'll just play it right now and hopefully know it. And some of those were the takes that we kept, it was just kind of, it just kind of felt like you were in your living room or something, playing music, and then we were recording it. And also, Ryan is a dear friend of mine, and we're both incredibly, we're both musicians and hooked on music in a really particular way, and that's like our living and our life. So I think it was just fun for us to just go, what about that one? What about that one? Just sit there and think about songs. So it really wasn't, it was just stuff that was on my mind, because, music's on my mind quite a bit. So, yeah, that record, The Golden Heart Protector, is really a snapshot of what was on my mind and that weekend, for sure.
We have to talk about the song that you just played, because it's by a guy named Stephen Merritt, and I think a lot of people are not aware of him. And Stephen Merritt, one of the reasons I like his music so much is because he has just a kind of skewed perspective on things like love. I mean, he did an album of like 69 love songs. So tell me about what draws you to Stephen Merritt and that particular song.
I think Stephen Merritt is an incredible songwriter. And yeah, he's always been a really big influence on me personally. I, have lived in New York, in the New York area, for a very long time, and I used to run. I'm a runner. I run a lot, and I would run to 69 love songs around Prospect Park. It was such a long record that it was really great for long distance running. So yeah, that kind of got into my psyche when I was probably, 24, 25 years old. I'm 36 now. So it's been influencing me for a long time. And yeah, I mean, I think he's a genius. I really think that his way of, cracking love open, just people, kind of humanity open, is really particular and very cool. Highly recommend. The Magnetic Field, Stephen Merritt. It's a beautiful world of music. I love his work.
Well, I know you're going to do a couple more songs, so we're going to lead into the next song. I want you to tell me the influence of this writer, who, by the way, really got her start thanks to a lot of other people recording her material.
Yeah.
So tell us who it is and what you're going to do.
Yeah, I was actually yesterday. I was playing in New York yesterday, and Lucinda Williams, she just opened a really cool little bar in the East Village called Lucinda's, and so I got to play. We were recording kind of this video session, and I got to play this song that I'll play now, "Fruits of My Labor," at her bar, which is really fun. So Lucinda Williams, such an original, such an icon, and yeah, it's so fun to play her music in my shows because it's almost like bragging about your cool friends. We're not friends, but it's just like I want everybody to know that I'm a Lucinda Williams fan and I'm a nerd for her music. So, yeah, I'll play this song now. This is called Fruits of My Labor. Baby, see how I've been living. Velvet curtains on the windows, too. Keep the bright and unforgiving old light from shining through. Baby, I remember all the things we did when we slept together in the blue behind your eyelids. Baby, sweet baby, I traced the sand through the gloom. Oh, I found these purple flowers. I was spent, I was soon, oh, smelling you for hours. Lavender, lotus blossom too. Water the dirt, flowers last for you, baby. Sweet baby. Tangerines and persimmon, oh, and sugar cane. Grapes and honeydew melon, enough fit for a queen. Lemon trees, they don't make a sound till branches bend and fruit falls to the ground, baby. Sweet baby, come to my world and witness all the way things have changed. 'Cause I finally did it, baby. I got out of the Grange. I got in my Mercury and I drove out west. Pedal to the metal in my heart to the test, baby. Sweet baby, I've been trying to enjoy all the fruits of my labor. I've been crying for you, boy. Oh, but truth is my savior. Baby, sweet baby, if it's all the same, take the glory any day over the fame, baby. Sweet baby, I've been trying to enjoy. I've been crying for you, boy. Oh, baby, sweet baby, if it's all the same, take the glory any day over the fame, baby. Sweet baby. Someone told me long ago. There's a calm before the storm, I know. It's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day, I know. Shining down like water. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. Yesterday and days before, sun is cold and rain is hard, I know. It's been that way for a long time. Through forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow, I know. It can't stop, I wonder. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day.
WYEP, we're live with Margaret Glaspy, who will play City Winery tonight, and she has a new release called The Golden Heart Protector. That song is older than you. It's been around for a while. How do you decide on a Creedence Clearwater song?
I love that song, and I love Creedence Clearwater Revivals so much, and I love John Fogerty so much. I grew up in Northern California, and I guess if I look back on my childhood, it was interesting. Now being an adult, I think about my own, musical influences. I think when I was in second grade, I remember having a Grateful Dead sticker on my binder and a Spice Girls sticker on my binder at the same time, if that paints a picture. My parents were really into like good songwriting and kind of Laurel Canyon, songwriting style. Growing up, there was a lot of Joni Mitchell on. There was a lot of James Taylor on. I became like a Bob Dylan fanatic in my high school years, and Creedence got in there, And I just always really loved the sense of kind of genre bending, soul, folk, country, all of it in one. That just, yeah, kind of cracked me open when I was younger. So, yeah, that music means a lot to me. And that song, it's just so good. What's not to love, Yeah, I love that song so much. And I remember actually right before I had never played the song before with my own two hands, I had known it all my life, but I'd never played it. And we were in the studio, and I was just about to, I said, what about Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And then I was just about to just give it a try, and he was recording, and then he went, stop, 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 like it's at a funeral. And I went, wait, okay, interesting. But to think of grief and that song going together, or passing of time and that song going together, it kind of cracked that song open in a new way for me of thinking about, like, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day, like two things, good and bad, all at the same time, or just the way that life hits you. It's just the way that life is, all at once. So, yeah, it was definitely, when he said that, I went like, what? And then, oh, okay, interesting. And that's what kind of birthed that version for sure.
I think one of the most powerful things and vulnerable things about art form, and it could be any art form, it could be a song you put it out there, a poem, a book, a piece of, an art, painting or something, is that when you put it out there, it's no longer yours. It's whoever is going to take that in, it becomes theirs. So that's what a cover album is doing. And you did Jesus, Etc., the Jeff Tweedy tune. And when I heard it, I think one of the things that hit me was, wow, I don't think I ever recognized what a pretty song this is.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of moments with that song too. I mean, I always thought it was gorgeous, to be honest with you. I always loved the Wilco. I mean, that studio recording is so good. I think the lyrics, as singing them myself, I started to see the kind of story in it, and the maybe the meaning that I was getting from it was slightly different than what I had gotten from just listening to it. So it is really fun to sing other people's music. I don't think it's necessarily like, I think it used to be that, artists were singing other songwriters' music a lot more, and these days it's always kind of like you're a self-made individual. But it feels really fun to get to play other people's music, because it's so great, and also to kind of bring out the meaning that I find in it is fascinating for me as a singer and an interpreter. So I feel like interpreting is its own thing, and it's really fun. I find that to be especially fun. So, yeah, that song, Jeff Tweedy knocked it out of the park with Jesus, Etc., for sure.
Now, I do want to point out before we wrap up here is your guitar work. You spent a lot of time in a guitar shop in New York, so you know guitars. I mean, there's an instrument that you pick up can really have an impact on a song. I talked to Jeff Tweedy about this recently, where he said, yeah, sometimes an instrument takes you in a place where you really don't want to go, but the instrument says, nope, this is the way it goes. So as you are playing these songs, I mean, isn't that also part of it? Like, you've had this real incredible opportunity to learn the guitar on a totally different level.
Yeah, I think there's a guitar is like, it's interesting, actually. I remember talking to friends, my husband at one point, and talking about my upbringing and thinking that it was normal that there were just guitars everywhere. Because in my house growing up, there were guitars everywhere. And it wasn't like fancy guitars, it was just guitar. Like, that one's got 4 strings on it. that one's like just one that was given to us by somebody. That one's actually kind of fancy, but not, it was just like guitars that had kind of made their way into our home. My brother, prolific guitar player. My sister's super musical. Both my mom and dad, really musical, and both played instruments and sang, and none professionally, but it was just really normal for me to think about, like, there just being guitars everywhere and music everywhere. And then when I kind of grew up and came into the world, I realized that that's kind of particular, that's a particular thing. And then I married into guitar in a lot of ways. My husband's a guitar player. And then I worked at a guitar shop in the East Village called T.R. Crandall. That's like our guitar home in a lot of ways. Before I was a touring musician, so I was selling guitars, which was also wild because you would see, I was a young musician, and my heroes would walk through the door, and I'd be selling them guitars. It was interesting. The guitar and the way that you resonate with an instrument is definitely a relationship and certainly a thing. This is an L00 from 1932. This is like a really soulful guitar that I love so much. And I feel like, often old guitars have some kind of something in them. They've seen a lot of life. Some of them haven't seen so much, and they're old, but they've been in a case and under a bed for 50 years. And then someone discovers it, and they bring it out, and they say, this is 70 years old, and it looks like it was, just opened yesterday. So it's interesting, the kind of the way that guitars come into be is wild. I don't know. It's a world of its own, and it has a community of its own that's even more eccentric and interesting.
I think somebody needs to write a song about a ghost and a guitar, or the guitar is a ghost.
There you go.
I don't
There's
know.
definitely some ghosts around for sure.
Well, we have to get one of your own songs because you too are a songwriter.
That's true. I do write some songs. Once I had it all, but did it all have me? When you're dripping in your privilege, you don't know the difference between what you want and what you need. When nothing is enough, it gets tough just to smile. When every crack is a canyon, oh, every inch feels like a mile. Get back to the place you started from. Oh, get back to childhood. Get back to what's good. Once I thought I was the only, oh, I was so lonely. When you're only thinking of yourself, you're missing out on everybody else. Get back to the place you started from. Oh, get back to childhood. Get back to what's good. In the middle of the night, I was on my own till I realized that my house was not a home, just a pile of sticks and stones.
You can catch Margaret Glaspy tonight. She is going to be at City Winery. The Golden Heart Protector is the name of her new release. Margaret, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for coming out.